Just 10 days ago, Ripple dropped one of its biggest announcements yet, the acquisition of Hidden Road. When the news first broke, I said this was far bigger than what we were being told, and now with all the details out, we can finally dig in and truly grasp the magnitude of this move, not just for Ripple, but for XRP as well. So grab a seat, relax, and welcome to the channel. If you're new here, don't worry, you'll probably hit that subscribe button by the end of this video. All right, let's get into it. Like I mentioned, this announcement came 10 days ago and it's been making waves ever since. Now, let's take a closer look at what CEO Brad Garlinghouse had to say. His statement, game-changing. He called this deal a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for crypto to seamlessly connect with the largest, most trusted traditional markets and for those markets to bridge into the world of crypto. Let's unpack why this is such a monumental step forward. At first, our main focus was on the sheer scale of capital, how much money moves annually and how many financial institutions are involved. To put it into perspective, we're talking about $3 trillion, 0 cents per year, and over 300 top-tier financial institutions globally. Ripple's CEO Brad Garlinghouse confirmed these staggering figures, explaining how this activity ties directly into XRP and the XRP ledger's strengths: instant, efficient, scalable, and low-cost value transfer. Now, I get it. Some people are frustrated asking why XRP isn't skyrocketing despite all the positive news. But let me say it again, the pressure is building. When the markets stabilize and bounce back, that's when all these announcements will truly show their impact. What's crucial here is the confirmation this massive flow of capital is heading toward the XRP ledger. While it might not be the full $3 trillion, 0 cents right away, we're looking at billions, eventually scaling to trillions. This isn't speculation anymore. It's practically a fact after this recent announcement. That's why it's such a big deal. Digging deeper, there's even more to unpack. Matthew Lin Y highlighted something big that I couldn't ignore, especially when we looked at Hidden Road's website. Hidden Road is connected to key markets like derivatives and FX, and now Ripple, through Hidden Road, has direct access to BlackRock's tokenized assets. Think about that for a second. On top of it all, Ripple is now linked to major exchanges like SDX, A6 company, which is a pretty big deal in itself. If you haven't heard about SDX yet, it's time to dive in and do some research. It'll blow your mind just how massive SDX really is. Remember when we first talked about them alongside Quant back in 2021, 2022, and even into 2023? Well, here's the latest. Hidden Road, a major player, has integrated with multiple venues and now fully supports BlackRock's Build token as collateral within its credit network. On top of that, they're working with several ISVs through their offerings, but the real highlight, access to BlackRock's Build token. This is a big deal. Bridges are being built everywhere and every major name in the industry is connecting. What's wild is how all paths seem to lead back to Ripple and XRP. That's the piece everyone's overlooking. It's not just bullish for Ripple. XRP and the XRPL remain the central focus here. Adding fuel to the excitement, Wrath of Kahneman spotlighted something big. SBI recently made waves on the 12th by highlighting Ripple's acquisition of Hidden Road. This move feels significant. SBI has officially announced Ripple's Hidden Road deal, which involves cash, XRP, and treasury stocks. The possibilities are enormous, especially with SBI's Osaka exchange plans in the mix. Ripple Labs, a key partner of the SBI group, is clearly making bold moves, and this could reshape the game entirely. So here's the deal. This is huge. A lot of people are going to analyze this from every angle, but the bottom line is clear. SBI has always been incredibly bullish on Ripple and XRP. We're talking years of support, with SBI CEO repeatedly emphasizing his confidence in Ripple's tech and XRP's future. At one point, he even suggested that major banks in Japan could all adopt XRP. Whether or not that exact statement holds up doesn't really matter. The point is, SBI's unwavering support for Ripple and XRP is undeniable. Take a look at the track record. SBI Ripple Asia was announced back in either 2023 or 2024, can't quite recall, showcasing SBI's commitment to expansion in the region. And this isn't new. Even in 2021, when Ripple was neck deep in a lawsuit, SBI was still making big moves. It's wild when you think about it. Fast forward to now, and the momentum hasn't slowed. Just last week, Hidden Road secured a license to operate as a broker-dealer, marking a significant step forward in expanding its prime brokerage services to institutional investors. What does this mean? Well, my good friend Crypto Insight UK broke it down perfectly. Hidden Road's license is a strategic win, one that ties directly to Ripple's broader vision. So while the dust is still settling on this news, one thing is crystal clear. SBI and Ripple are playing the long game, and it's paying off in a big way. Ripple's Hidden Road purchase might be bigger than people realize. Here's why. They've just been approved for a FINRA broker-dealer license. But wait, what does that even mean? FINRA, short for the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, is a government-authorized self-regulatory body. It oversees brokerage firms and their reps, sets rules, enforces compliance, and works to keep markets fair and honest. A broker-dealer is basically a firm or individual that buys and sells securities like stocks or bonds. They act as a broker when trading for clients and as a dealer when trading for themselves. Now, what's a FINRA broker-dealer license? It's not a single license, but a complex registration process that lets a firm legally perform brokerage or dealer activities. Here's how it works. Register the firm with FINRA. That's done with Form BD, by the way. Become a FINRA member, which involves background checks, business plans, and more. Pass exams. For individuals, Series 7 is a must, plus state exams like Series 63 or 66. For supervisors, Series 24 is required. Register with the SEC and state regulators. Why is this license a big deal? 3 reasons. It's essential to legally buy and sell securities for others. It ensures compliance with U.S. securities laws. It builds trust with clients and investors, which is everything in the financial world. Now imagine all of this happening on the XRP ledger. The possibilities are endless. Crypto Insight UK hits the nail on the head, and I completely agree. This is a massive deal. When we take a step back and look at what's happening with securities and traditional markets, one word keeps coming up: tokenization. It's the buzzword of the moment, and for good reason. Recently, we saw reports that tokenized real-world assets could skyrocket to $18 trillion, $900 billion, 0 cents. So honestly, that feels like a lowball estimate. Ripple even chimed in, and we've been bombarded with predictions. Some say $16 trillion, 0 cents by 2030. Others claim $30 trillion, 0 cents. And there are whispers of $50 trillion, 0 cents. No one knows the exact number, but here's what I do know. We're on the brink of watching massive markets transition on-chain. Now, is this just speculation? Am I pulling numbers out of thin air? Absolutely not. Let's talk facts. The DTCC, which handles over $3.00 quadrillion in securities annually, is already exploring DLT, distributed ledger technology. Their goal: to digitize and automate their business model entirely. And it's not just them. SWIFT, the system connecting 11,000 banks worldwide, is actively integrating DLT into its network. On top of that, every major bank is talking blockchain and DLT-based payments. The gears are turning. At this point, it's not about panicking or scrambling to sell off assets. This market isn't something to run from, it's something to embrace. The next 5 years are shaping up to be transformative, with some of the largest markets we know moving on-chain and adopting blockchain at scale. Right now, I truly believe one of the biggest mistakes you could make is underestimating what's happening on-chain. Generational wealth is about to flood into this space. This isn't me trying to sell you a dream, it's happening. Look at the numbers. The real-world asset market currently sits at around $20 billion, 0 cents. But on the low end, we're looking at $16, 0 cents. To $18 trillion, 0 cents, moving on chain in the next 5 to 8 years. And trust me, those are conservative estimates. I've said it before. Once the first trillion moves on chain, the next 10 will follow much faster. In no time, we'll witness hundreds of trillions of dollars flooding into this space. Now, think about the moves Ripple is making. Their acquisitions and partnerships are laying the groundwork for a huge portion of this wealth to flow through platforms like Hidden Road. Why? Compliance, regulatory checks, and licenses. They've got it all locked down. This is ridiculously bullish. It reminds me of a post from David Schwartz back in December 2023. He shared something that really stuck with me. What Amazon was to books, Ripple is to cross-border payments. Think about it. Did Amazon stop at books? No, they mastered books, expanded into adjacent markets, and eventually took over everything. Ripple is on that same path. Brad Garlinghouse has said it time and time again. Ripple's ultimate goal is to become the Amazon of crypto. Just like Amazon started with books and grew into a global juggernaut selling everything, Ripple started with cross-border payments, but they're not stopping there. They're building a future where they'll offer a whole range of financial services to institutions, bringing them into the modern era. This isn't just a vision, it's a strategy in motion. Today, we've got some exciting insights from Nick Crypto. If you're not familiar with Hidden Road yet, let's break it down. It's a prime broker acting as a one-stop shop for big players in the finance world. Think clearing, lending, and trade execution across FX, crypto, derivatives, and even fixed income, all under one roof. Essentially, it's the bridge between traditional finance and crypto, creating a seamless connection. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. It ties back to something David Schwartz once said about tokenization. Remember his point, you can't just put tokenized assets on chain and leave them. You need a thriving market to support them. And guess what? Hidden Road provides exactly that. This is why tokenization is such a game changer. Imagine the flood of money moving on chain and think about what that might mean for XRP. People often ask how tokenization impacts the underlying network or asset, but it's all about network effects. Bring trillions, okay, maybe not the 100 trillion I'm jokingly suggesting, onto the XRP ledger and watch the ecosystem transform. Let's imagine a conservative scenario, $1 trillion flowing onto the XRP ledger. That's just scratching the surface of what tokenized assets could bring. This isn't money that will just sit idle. It'll move. It'll be traded, lent, and integrated into liquidity pools, creating a ripple effect across the network. Tokenized assets introduce an entirely new asset class, a new market, and a massive opportunity for growth. This shift won't go unnoticed. The volume on-chain will drive change. It'll enhance the value of the network and boost the usage of the underlying asset XRP. Think about it, 24/7 transactions, lending, borrowing, liquidity pools being tapped at unprecedented levels, and new DeFi solutions emerging. And that's not even counting retail use cases. What we're seeing here is the power of network effects in action, a transformation with the potential to skyrocket XRP's impact. People aren't fully grasping how monumental tokenization will be. Imagine $18 or $19 trillion flooding into crypto over the next 8 years. For perspective, the entire crypto market cap today hovers under $3 trillion. We're talking about a leap to nearly $20 trillion, 0 cents. A seismic shift that could redefine the future of digital assets. I get it, this might sound super conservative, but take a second to think about how massive this could actually be for the market. And no, they're not even talking about the entire crypto market cap here. This is just about tokenized RWAs set to flood this space. By then, crypto could easily be valued at $20, 0 cents, $30, 0 cents, $40, 0 cents, or even $50 trillion, 0 cents. That's why I'm so bullish on the long-term potential of this space. Ripple's acquisitions and strategic moves, they're absolutely game-changing. So, with all that said, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn notifications on for more free content. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you next time.